Oh yeah, it's the WC back with a brand new, all new video. Yes, it's the Xtreme review of Payback 2013. Man, oh man. Um, just got done watching the pay-per-view. Had its ups and had its downs, man. I'm just here to go ahead and review it for the peoples, man. For the peoples. So they can know what's going on, man. For the peoples. Anyway, let's go ahead and get to the matches, man. Pre pay-per-view match. Sheamus versus Sandow. In an okay match, it went back and forth. I mean, Sheamus did his thing. Sandow came close, but Sheamus came out with the win in the end, man. You kind of seen the writing on the wall with some of these matches, but a lot of these matches during this pay-per-view was pretty darn good. Getting into the next match, triple threat match between Wade Barrett, Curtis Axel, and The Miz for the Intercontinental Championship. And The Miz went for the figure four, had Barrett basically locked up. And then probably in one of the most, I mean, it's real simple, but when you really think about it, it's real slick, real sly how Curtis Axel came in and he pinned Wade Barrett while he was locked up in the figure four. I thought it was real smart, for real. I don't think I've ever seen an ending of a match like that in that type of fashion. Curtis Axel just slips in. I mean, I think that if Fandango was in this match, he probably would have walked away with it. But Curtis Axel, they continued to push this guy towards the moon, man. This is just proof. So, they put a belt on him. Will it get him over even more? Maybe. I think it definitely sets up pretty darn good for Curtis Axel. It just reconfirms that they had belief in this guy. They put a belt on him. Next up, the Divas match: Kaitlyn versus AJ Lee for the Divas Championship, and this match was pretty back and forth. I mean, one of my criticisms of AJ Lee, which is few and far in between, you know what I'm saying? Because the girl looks good. Both of them look good, matter of fact. Is that she's really not believable as a dominant female wrestler. So, her tactics will probably be, real high maneuvers, quick kicks and stuff like that. So, it went back and forth. Kaitlyn had the match won. From what I saw, and then she, kind of showboated or what have you, and then AJ Lee put her in the widow's peak, and then that was basically it. She tapped out and everything. Went through this breakdown in the middle of the ring, crying and stuff. I'm sitting over here like, okay, is this like time filler, her crying? But whatever the case is, I think that the storyline between those two is just gonna keep going on, in a fairly good Divas match. I'll give it his props. I'll definitely give it his props. Some of these matches are not going to be in order. So, the next match, Kane versus Dean Ambrose, and an okay match. I mean, it really didn't wow you or anything like that, but Dean Ambrose just definitely proved that he can run with anybody, and Kane is Kane, man. You get what you expect from Kane. High, not high maneuvers, but a lot of choke slams, a lot of sidewalk slams, and Dean Ambrose wins by count out. So we can just go ahead, speed through that. In one of the most interesting matches of the night, the World Heavyweight Championship match between Ziggler and Alberto. I don't know if it's a storyline thing or if it's legit. That's probably the best thing about it, is that I don't know if it's a storyline or if it's legit, but I mean, Ziggler got kicked in the head at least 12, 14, 15 times during that match. I mean, it was crazy. And in Chicago, that's what the pay-per-view was. I mean, Alberto came off like the heel, and, Ziggler came off like the face. And, I mean, Ziggler just got kicked in the head so many times to the point where it's like, this guy's coming fresh off of a legit concussion. It's not storyline concussion like with Triple H, but this is legit concussion, and he's getting kicked in the, stomped in the head. I don't care if if I'm off 5 weeks, you kicking me in the head, I'm still gonna have effects from it. So in the end, Alberto wins. He kicks him in the head couple dozen times, and he gets the pin, and Ziggler's struggling to get to the back, and I don't know. I don't know if their feud's going to keep going on. I think it will. I think that they'll probably keep going at Money in the Bank next pay-per-view. Speaking of Money in the Bank, RVD returns, and it was a whole bunch of speculation about RVD being the new client of Paul Heyman a couple weeks back, and it turned out to be Curtis Axel. But RVD making his return back to the WWE, I think that will definitely be interesting. I don't know if they're just going to give him the Money in the Bank briefcase, and then I'm just speculating, but hey, it's good to see him back on this side of the fence. With the WWE, let's see if they can get some more good out of him. I think that he's definitely got some more great matches potentially left in him. Getting to the tag team title match, the Shield, Seth Rollins and Roman Reigns versus Daniel Bryan and Randy Orton. It went back and forth. Daniel Bryan, I actually got in a little bit of an argument with somebody over Daniel Bryan, where it was like, hey, how over is he? And I'm like, all right, well, he's just as much over as anybody else, but he just has the potential to be way more over than what he is, like main event over. And it was like a debate if he legitimately is a main eventer, and I think he is. No question that Orton is. And I don't know if this tag team tandem is going to stick together. I don't know how that storyline is going to progress, because the Shield retained against the two. And like I said, this review is a little bit out of order, so if I'm skipping over matches, I'm definitely going to come back to it, which is a match that I'm coming back to right now. CM Punk versus Jericho. It definitely went back and forth. Counter after counter after counter after counter after counter. Something that you would expect from a Jericho match with somebody that he works well with. Like when Jericho went head to head with Rey Mysterio, who I think y'all probably be seeing sooner or later, according to certain sources. Jericho just works well with Punk, and they put on a great show. That's pretty much it. Punk gets the win in the end in his hometown. He gets a hometown response. Everything that you would expect for it to happen. I don't know if he's going to be thrown into the WWE Championship conversation. Him versus Cena, which I basically spoiled it if you ain't see the pay-per-view. Him versus Cena is just like, I don't know if I want to see that again. Ryback versus Cena, 3 stages of hell for the WWE Championship. To sum it up real nice and quick, Cena basically wins. He won the table match and the ambulance match at the end with the stunt with a FU. I like to call it FU, but he calls it an attitude adjustment through the top of the ambulance, and apparently that's how the match is won. You just throw him in there and close the door, and then you won, I guess. But this time he just slammed him through, and then he wins. So all in all, man, was it an amazing, pay-per-view or anything like that? Can't say it's amazing, but I'll definitely give it about a 7.5 out of 10. Good matches, kept me interested. I want to know what you guys think, man, down in the comments, man. It's the WC with an extreme review, a payback. That's it. That's all, man. I'll see y'all later on my next video, man. Stay up.